Before we close, I want to tell a few stories. My story of self, as we used to say in Camp Obama. I also want to offer a few comments about the Obama movement and moving forward. I first saw Barack Obama speak at the Democratic Convention in 2004. As he gave that speech, I realized something important was happening. Jesse Jackson, whom I admire, was sitting just above me. I turned around to watch Jesse watch Barack. A range of emotions went across his face, from competition to an almost fatherly pride. In December 2006, I emailed my old dean at the University of Chicago Law School, where Obama had taught, and asked about him. His response: smartest guy I ever met, and I have 3 Nobel laureates who live on my block. Little did he know that someday he would have a 4th. So I chose my candidate, Senator Barack Obama. On March 17, 2007, St. Patrick's Day, we held a rally with Obama in Oakland. My old friend and political mentor, Pat DeTemple, who had joined the California field staff, recruited me to help. 15,000 people showed up. Obama gave a great speech. I met Barack for the first time backstage at a second event in San Francisco. Because I gave him a printout of his page on the University of Chicago Law School website to sign, he thought I'd been one of his students. Then I joined the California Finance Committee and helped Brooke Joseph with events with Obama. I met Obama again at a fundraiser in June. All those fundraisers, dressed to kill. And I, who grew up in New Jersey, showed up in a Tony Soprano short-sleeve shirt. Then Pat told me to meet Sam Perry, Melody Masaniai, and the others who attended Camp Obama over the summer and helped organize Congressional District 14, Anna Eshu's district. The group had selected Roger as its leader, even though he had not been with them at Camp Obama in San Francisco. Roger went to Chicago in August 2007. I was reluctant to Bigfoot and tell them I'd been a community organizer and worked on campaigns for over 20 years, and that I had some ideas about data-centric campaigning. But low-ego Roger, who became one of my closest friends, welcomed me and my ideas. So I joined Silicon Valley for Obama, and Giselle joined us later. Of course, I brought along my brother and best friend, Patrick Brock, from East Palo Alto. Because everything we do together. And I met Josh Becker, who became one of my closest friends. As we built Silicon Valley for Obama, grassroots organization, I kept fundraising on the side. We did lots of events with Obama, including a Women for Obama event in San Francisco in the fall of 2007. Molly Kawahara, a then Gunn High School student here in Palo Alto, spoke. And my friend Julie Lythcott-Hames was on a stage. Obama gave another great address. Back in Palo Alto, we kept organizing. In December 2007, Pat got us permission to open our Silicon Valley for Obama office on El Camino, which was unique in the United States. No other office was opened unstaffed. Then on Christmas Day 2007, I said goodbye to my kids. Roger, Jamil Punja, John Jacobs, who was the heart and soul of our El Camino office and grassroots campaign. We went to Iowa for the caucuses. Iowa was the high point of my 24-year career in presidential politics. Nothing ever came as close, and nothing ever will. Roger, Jamil, John, and I experienced the intimacy of the Iowa caucus. Alma Obama talked about how people finally felt empowered in this campaign and how she had encouraged people to push past their comfort zone and think more about what they wanted from their political leaders. Maya Sotero Ng talked about a Scrabble game with Barack on Christmas Day And now he had come from 28 points behind, hinting at a similar outcome that could happen in this election. For the California primary in February, Pat asked me to help organize 11 congressional districts in Northern California. So I stepped away from Silicon Valley for Obama for 3 weeks. We organized 1,800 precinct captains in our region. It was the first time anyone had done so since Bobby Kennedy's campaign in '68. And they didn't have computers and the internet. Meanwhile, I kept fundraising. In a list, in a leaked John Podesta email posted on WikiLeaks, which got me trolled on the internet last fall, I was listed as the number 30 fundraiser in the entire campaign. Because my fundraising was going well, with the help of a major donor team at Silicon Valley for Obama, Brooke recommended to National Finance Committee Chair Penny Pritzker that I join the National Finance Committee. And being me, I proceeded to tell them how to use data and field techniques to raise major donor contributions. They didn't listen to me, but they did it their way, and they did just fine. So now that I've told the public stories, here are 3 private stories. First story. When I was in Iowa with Roger, John, and Jamil, on New Year's Eve, the Des Moines Register poll came out, and for the first time, we were ahead. The next freezing cold morning, January 1st, we held a big rally in a sweaty high school gym in Des Moines. Michelle went out on stage with Barack and the girls. Then the girls left the stage. Where was I? Assigned to play with young Malia and Sasha backstage. When you're an organizer, you do whatever it takes, even childcare. Second story. On caucus night in Iowa, after his big speech, Barack walked backstage. It was the first time we realized we might go all the way. Tony West, his wife Maya Harris, and our great new Senator Kamala Harris were back there with Michelle. I took a shaky, out-of-focus picture on my cell phone. Then I yelled, "Hey, Barack, come get in the picture." Not Senator Obama, but hey, Barack. But he listened, and I took the picture. Final story. Obama was scheduled to attend a fundraiser in Atherton on a Sunday in April 2008. Bruce Springsteen was playing in San Jose the night before. I asked Brooke if we could squeeze in a short meeting Sunday morning if Bruce was interested. She checked with the campaign, and they said yes. So this Springsteen-loving New Jersey boy talked my way backstage. I told the band's manager that Obama was available to meet with Bruce on Sunday morning before the fundraiser. It didn't happen because the band flew to LA that night after the concert. But Obama told his staff that he would love to talk to Bruce. Brooke asked me to come up with Bruce's phone number. And I did, but I will never tell how. Later that week, Barack talked to Bruce on the phone. Soon afterwards, Bruce endorsed our campaign. Brooke and I helped make that happen. Now we have some hard questions to ask ourselves. What happened to the Obama movement? Did Obama choose transactional leadership over transformational leadership, as Marshall Gans, the former UFW organizer who helped design the Camp Obama curriculum, has claimed? Why didn't we make good on our promise to build a movement whose first task was to elect one man to one office, but move on from there? In our region in 2009 and 2010, Rocky Singh, Melissa Doherty, Linda Adler, and Eitan Fenton gave Organizing for America, or OFA, a great shot. But people drifted away. Obama or OFA did not get the funding or support that it needed. And then there's the Democratic Party. I believe the party needs reform, especially at the national and state levels. It is the post-Bernie Sanders, post-Hillary Clinton truth The millennials did not turn out for Hillary. Demographics are not destiny. In California, millennials have become the largest component of the workforce and have surpassed boomers as the most populous generation. The Clinton 2016 campaign employed the traditional party-led model. We won the popular vote, but we lost the Electoral College. Winning the presidency requires many ingredients, but an arm's-length relationship with the party in D.C. is essential until the party fundamentally returns to a grassroots-driven, bottom-up movement-building posture it adopted under Howard Dean with his 50-state strategy. At one point last fall, I went searching for a Silicon Valley for Hillary group with which to volunteer. There was the Democratic Volunteer Center, which was independent, and many people in this room helped raise the money separate from the party to fund the center. But I chose to go to swing state Florida for the final 10 days of this year's campaign with Pat and my daughter Megan. Now a word about Trump. We must resist Trump, but we must not hate his 62 million voters. I agree with Gandhi. We may have opponents, but never enemies, even the few alt-right deplorables. We have to figure out how to live together. I agree with Obama that economic populism is the solution. It can unite a Trump voter in camo with a gun, with a tatted and pierced black millennial in Oakland. Last week in Chicago, I was in Chicago for Obama's farewell address. I had a great chat with an Uber driver who had voted for Trump. It was a start. Let's return to Obama. Again, I ask, what happened to the Obama movement? Did Rahm Emanuel talk community organizer Barack Obama out of supporting a grassroots movement because they were both institutionalists who focused on government and who in 2009 had to deal with the worst economic crisis in a generation, plus an auto industry bailout, plus 2 wars, plus healthcare reform? Was Rahm scared of an uncontrollable movement pushing the administration to the left from the outside? I gave my word at dozens of House meetings that we were building a movement. I said that movement would extend past the campaign. Someone somewhere made me a liar. Who was it? We had thousands of trained organizers and 2 million people on the Mall for the inauguration, and we were all ready to keep going. But without major funding and support from Obamaland, the Army folded its tents and went home. These are hard questions that we must ask ourselves as we move forward. Now, I want to return to and end with my story of self. After the inauguration, I came home to Palo Alto. That was that. Why? A University of Chicago law school grad who helped organize Silicon Valley for Obama, raised a lot of money, a successful Silicon Valley entrepreneur. I could have been a candidate to join the administration, but I never asked for a thing. I never pursued an appointment. I deflected people's questions by quoting James Carville. He said he wouldn't want to live in a country that would have a person like him in its government. I was never invited to attend a White House event. During the entire Obama presidency, I never even visited the White House. I never got a White House Christmas card, but I moved a few times, so I don't blame them. When you leave that world, you're gone. So why did I come home to Palo Alto and stay? There's a 2-word answer. Megan and Galen, my children. They were much younger 8 years ago. Galen came with me to a rally in Oakland. They got to meet Obama. They were there with us on election night. But back to why I stayed home. And this is where it gets personal. You see, I'm a single dad. And there was no way on earth that I was leaving Megan and Galen while they were still in school to go to D.C. or overseas. But now Megan is in D.C. at the coolest legislative analytics startup in town. She's carrying on the Byrd family activist and data-centric political and policy traditions. And Galen, the person on this earth with the kindest heart I've ever known, is majoring in data science at the University of Vermont. Tonight I'm passing the Byrd family national political baton to Megan. I'm done. The only national race I will ever work on again is when Megan runs for president. Locally, I'm handing my baton to Giselle, who is a Redwood City Planning Commissioner and hopefully a candidate someday for City Council and beyond. Giselle, there's 450 of us here tonight. Whenever you're ready, we've got your back. As Obama said last week, if you're disappointed by your elected officials, grab a clipboard and get some signatures and run for office yourself. In the meantime, local races are where I will help, and I'll continue my work in my neighborhood and with my local nonprofits. I'll continue to be the neighborhood lead on Nextdoor for the downtown North neighborhood here in Palo Alto, which I launched and which has grown to include over 1,000 neighbors. I'll continue to help Palo Alto Forward and other local YIMBY, or Yes in My Backyard groups, promote affordable, walkable, green, dense urban development. It's good for the environment and for people, and it's what the millennials want. I'll continue to help save the Bay as we prepare the Bay Area for climate change-driven sea level rise. I'll continue to help Free at Last, the Community Addiction Recovery Center in East Palo Alto, founded by my murdered friend David Lewis. I serve in David's memory. I'll continue to help Downtown Streets team as we work across the Bay Area and soon the nation to end homelessness. Jesus said, "Whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers of mine, you did for me." I agree. It's all about the least of these brothers and sisters of mine. Do for them and you do for God. That's kindness, which is my religion. Or to bring it forward 2,000 years, as Chance the Rapper sings, are you ready for your blessings? Are you ready for your miracles? So like a rapper, this is my mic drop. I'm out. 24 years after I entered presidential politics with Bill Clinton, from Clinton to Gore to Kerry to Obama to another Clinton, I'm out. Even if my New Jersey homeboy, Senator Cory Booker, runs in 2020, I'm out. Megan and Galen, know that I love you very much, even more than I love Barack Obama. As Obama said to his daughters, of all that I've done in my life, I am most proud to be your dad. I can only hope, as Scripture says, that a tree is known by the fruit it bears. Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. We will now have a reception in the parish hall with food and drink and lots of hugs and community organizing and the start of the resistance. For as John Lewis says, go find a way to get into good trouble. And then it will be like Scripture says, let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. Yes, we did. Yes, we can. Thank you, everybody. Good night and good luck.
Praise him till I'm gone. When the praises go up,
the blessings come down. When the praises go up, the blessings come down. It seems like blessings keep falling in my lap. It seems like blessings keep falling